We've been hearing a lot of stories recently about the amazing growth of heroin addiction right here in the metro area.
But is there enough help for those who want to break the cycle? Fox 2's Paul Shankman is here now with a look at what he found out today. Paul?
Well, Mandy, some claim at least one person a day in St. Louis dies from an overdose of heroin. It is a powerful addiction, not the sort of thing you can beat on your own. So how can such a rapidly growing number of addicts all find help? The answer is they cannot.
I did heroin, I did cocaine, crack, opiates.
Twice a week, Travis Mitchell leads a spiritually based support group at the Circle of Light Center in the Baden neighborhood. And over the past year, he says the number of heroin addicts participating has doubled. But unlike commercial treatment centers, Circle of Light is not for profit and may not be able to keep up with demand.
Yeah, we are stretched to the limit right now, but we're doing all we can, and we're not going to turn anyone away. A hand was reached out to me, so I'm going to continue to reach my hand out to them.
On Thursday, the state will be holding a quickly arranged meeting in St. Louis for counselors and members of law enforcement to talk about the heroin problem. Of all those we interviewed today, they all said the same thing, that as long as heroin addicts find it hard to get help, crime will rise, making heroin everybody's problem.
Tonight, St. Louis City holds its first town hall meeting about heroin. Dana Dean joins us, and Dana, St. Louis County has held several of these meetings. Now the city is jumping on board.
Yeah, between St. Louis City and St. Louis County, 120 people have died from overdosing on heroin this year alone. 65 of those deaths were in the city, and this is extremely troubling to a former heroin addict turned addiction counselor, Travis Mitchell, who is helping to organize the city's event tonight. Mitchell is also the radio host of a heroin prevention show on WGNU 920 AM. He will speak along with the chief of police, the chief medical examiner, and the commissioner of health. They hope to inform the public about the heroin crisis by talking about how it affects families and teenagers in the city. Mitchell says teens ages 13 to 15 are more at risk of taking heroin than others. He says some are selling items their parents have around the house to buy drugs, but he says heroin addicts are looking for a way out.
A heroin addict asked me, could he join my support group? I said, sure. And I explained to him about the town hall meeting. He said, really? So he's coming, and he said he's bringing 2 other people.
Tonight, city officials are going to step up to the plate. They're going to address the public with the help of a former heroin addict. Former addict Travis Mitchell helped organize the meeting tonight. Mitchell has a radio show on WGNU 920 AM about heroin prevention. During his latest show, he talked on the radio about how the average purity of heroin has increased to 38% from 13% in the last decade. At the town hall meeting tonight, speakers will talk about how heroin use is on the rise and focus on the city's problem. This year alone, 65 people in the city have died from the drug. Mitchell will also talk about how teens between the ages of 13 and 15 are more at risk for using the drug, and he knows this from experience.
I was in my teen years trying to be cool, trying to fit in, trying to be popular. All of these things, peer pressure, all of these things are damaging to our youth.
The meeting is open to the public. It will take place at 8759 Annetta Avenue from 7 to 8:30 p.m. And at 6:55, Kelly, the former heroin addict, will talk about items teens are actually selling for drugs.
Things that their parents wouldn't even think about, and they sell them to obtain drugs. They want to fit in, So we want to explain all the aspects regarding heroin addiction as we possibly can.
Well, he spent more than 2 decades strung out on any drug he could get his hands on.
Recovery programs never worked long term. Now he says he is healed and he's counseling other addicts.
News Channel 5's Frank Wiley is live with more on how Travis Mitchell is reaching people. Morning, Frank.
Good morning, Jen. Yeah, we got a little bit of time before the show actually starts. The man who hosts this show, it's been a long time coming, but now he hooks his listeners through the airwaves and he says it's all spiritual. Now, we grabbed a little bit of video while he was at work. Travis Mitchell, I want to show that to you really fast. He tells us it's a spiritual transformation. Now, he's been clean for 17 years, but struggled with drug abuse for 25 years. Now Mitchell is counseling addicts. His radio show on WGNU 920 AM airs at 6 a.m. Mondays and Fridays, and listeners call with questions about signs of abuse and how to fix ongoing problems. Mitchell says helping people is the best high he's ever had.
With that high came peace, love, joy, contentment, direction, total elation. something I had been looking for my entire life. And don't get me wrong, that spirit tried to come back and offer me that, but I had to fight.
Travis Mitchell spent more than 2 decades strung out on any drug he could get his hands on.
Now he is counseling addicts through the power of the radio airwaves.
News Channel 5's Frank Wiley has more on this local radio host and how he is reaching out to people across the region. Frank?
Yeah, Jen, it's been a long time coming, but now the man behind that mic is hooking folks through the airwaves. He's kicked his habit, and now he says he's going to help others do the same thing. Says it's spiritual.
Thanks for calling. Hold on.
He gets off it, and then he goes right back to using.
I lost my soul.
Took him more than 2 decades to find it. Every day spent searching for a fix, track marks hidden underneath these sleeves. Crack pipes and syringes often accompanied Travis Mitchell in his journey.
I have abused every legal and illegal drug known to man.
Now he says this is the best high he's ever had. Passion bubbles when he talks about it.
And welcome to Hope, helping other people escape drugs.
Using the airwaves to cure addiction, he counsels substance abusers.
They'll listen to an ex-addict.
Openly sharing his struggles with drugs, he's 17 years clean, but it's been a long time coming. Working the system, he'd complete programs, sometimes intent on breaking his habit, other times not so much. But it wasn't the traditional 12-step program that cleaned up his act. Mitchell says he had to call on a higher power.
But when I tried the spiritual transformation, that was a totally different experience.
No methadone, just prayer.
If you hold on, you're going to be on line 2.
He was done with drugs, even confident enough to put himself in harm's way to save others.
I have gone in crack houses and pulled people out of there.
That kind of intervention didn't come soon enough for Denise Yates' son.
It only took a year and a half, less than a year and a half, to take his life.
A Valentine's Day heroin overdose. Now she joins Mitchell to push for caution.
It wasn't ever offered to me by my friends because they told me, I never want you to get into this. This is bad, you know, it's awful, because it's like you don't go for the high anymore. I just got out of middle school, and that's when everything really started.
Most people clean long as he's been say they're recovering.
Who in their right mind wants to be in recovery the rest of their life?
He simply says he's cured.
Hey, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, dear.
Now, Mitchell isn't against what he calls secular treatment, but of course says the spiritual route worked for him.
It is a growing problem, and it doesn't discriminate. Parents concerned about heroin usage attended a seminar today in North St. Louis, sponsored by Circle of Light Associates. News Channel 5's Alex Feast tells us counselors are warning parents about accidentally enabling their teenage children.
And still trying to help when you can without enabling is just a huge challenge, I think.
At the Circle of Light Associates seminar, Reba Killingsworth is a presenter.
She's now 23. We've basically been in this fight for her life for about 6 years now.
When it comes to heroin usage, Killingsworth has a message for other parents about enabling.
Like last weekend, we were about to buy her a car. We want to help. We want to help her get moving, get a job.
Denise Yates' son, Nate, died from a heroin overdose just 2 months ago.
As a mother, you're beside yourself to realize that this is affecting our community.
Former heroin addict Travis Mitchell says parents should look out for the warning signs.
Always constantly sleeping, isolation, a new set of friends. They don't want you to know their friends.
And Reba Killingsworth's daughter continues to fight her addiction in recovery. For more about Circle of Light Associates, we're linked to their website on KSDK.com.
Small business owners hoping to benefit from federal stimulus dollars had a chance to learn about the opportunities available. Today, U.S. Senator Claire McCaskill hosted a workshop on how to apply for federal grants. News Channel 5's Jasmine Huda reports.
We have fruits, we have vegetables.
From the food pantry to therapy to daycare and the Support and Recovery Center, Circle of Light in North St. Louis County helps individuals get back on their feet.
Since 1991, we've serviced thousands of people.
And Director Travis Mitchell says the nonprofit has the potential to serve many more.
Our success rate is high. So therefore, if you want to continue to keep these people around, you need housing. Housing is essential. And without housing, you'll lose a lot of these people that are really, really trying.
Circle of Light knew that if it was going to take its services to the next level, it was going to need help. And that help could come in the form of a federal grant.
Saturday, Mitchell met Senator Claire McCaskill, who hosted a free economic development and grant training workshop.
The problem with so much of the federal money is that they've set it up that you got to have a lobbyist to get it. You know, hire a lobbyist and get an earmark seems to be the way that Washington wants to help people. There are some great opportunities. We just want to make sure the people who need them the most have an opportunity to learn about them.
Mitchell's biggest concern was getting past the red tape. But for now, he says he's pleased that agencies could answer his questions and hopefully help him get his nonprofit on track to help people in need.
A lot of people do the right things, and a lot of people have their heart in what they're doing.
Jasmine Huda, News Channel 5.